I just want to tell you a little story about my first actual audition as a bass player. Mind you, this is what I thought I was, but what I actually was nowhere near close, okay? I barely knew the pentatonic scale, barely knew what the scale of modes were. I didn't even know them all, but I could run my fingers up and down the neck and make a little racket. So that's what I consider being a bass player at the time. I want to be in a band. I want to make something happen. But I think a lot of us are at that way because we're motivated, we're excited. We just barrel roll right into everything instead of stop thinking, hey, we're not all perfect. I'm damn sure not. What do? I put an ad in the paper. That's right. There was no internet at this time, no smartphones, no computers with dial up or anything like that. So I call the guys up and I tell them exactly what I was. They were pretty cool about it. They weren't tripping. So get on the bus, have my little 10-watt practice amp, bass in the bag, and I'm hauling my ass on the other side of town to go on an actual audition. So there was a drummer and a guitar player looking for a bass player. I didn't care whether I won or whether I lost because at this point I had already won because I had decided I was a bass player and I was going to make something of myself and somebody else was interested. And then when I got there, it changed. Things changed a little bit. I don't want to say instantly, but I realized I was out of my league. How did this happen? Well, let me explain. Right? So I got off the bus and I'm in a decent neighborhood, but then I got to go across the street, and I'm like, oh, this is a little bit different. So I go down the block, bars on the windows, everything, all of that, you name it, it's all there. But I didn't care. It was my audition and I'm showing up, and that's all that mattered. But it was two younger guys. They were probably 23, 24, two young white guys. But they had good energy though. They weren't tripping on anything. They weren't spazzing out on, big, tall, skinny black guy or anything like that. They were just all about the music. House was a mess. I think they had 15 pizza boxes in every corner, every spot, beer cans everywhere, just like in the movies. I kid you not, just like the movies. And I'm thinking, I just found my band. This is it. If I can figure this thing out, we're good. We're going to make it, right? Because this seems like textbook winning. What do they call that? Rags to riches kind of a thing. I'm in it. So we go into a little room and they just start talking a little bit. I got my little practice amp. I didn't realize at the time, but I was not even close to being ready for this. But they let me know soon enough. And they asked me a few questions. I don't remember exactly what the questions were, but I think they kind of got frustrated because I wasn't answering it right. And when I think about it now, look back, I think they kind of figured out really quick I wasn't the right guy. So I think they decided just to play something, and they said, you know what, just feel whatever you want, just jump in, and we'll take a listen and whatever. Fine, let's do this. So I tune up, exercise my little thing for about 30 seconds. All right, let's go. And then they decided which song they're going to play. Hey, should we do this one, that one? No, let's do that one. Let it rip, guys. And when they hit it, I was so impressed because it was funk rock type of stuff. It was nice and heavy, funky. The guitar player had a really good feel for what he was doing, and I liked it. And the drummer was popping. One thing that was surprising for me, I had no idea at that point how loud drums actually are. And it was so loud, I couldn't hear myself. I brought a little practice amp. That thing got swallowed up. Guitar player had him a nice little stack, and he had it all the way up, just about all the way up. And first song, my pants were vibrating, and I'm trying to play. I couldn't even hear myself. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting sweaty, and I'm just like, okay. I let him get through it. I stopped halfway, and then we have a little more conversation. And they were really cool about everything. And I realized that, okay, I'm a little out of my element, but that's okay. So they play another song and I just listened. I didn't even bother playing at this point because it was mute. The audition was over and I just pretty much showed how ignorant I actually was. And after that song was over, we had a little bit more banter. They played one more song, and then I left after that. And I thanked them for the good time. They were cool about it. They didn't, throw no shade on me. They didn't whine, complain, or give me attitude. Real good peeps. I wish I could run into them today and kind of let them know what the experience was for me. Two things I take away from this that I really appreciate that they gave me. One, that's when I realized how much I really like music, because I really felt their energy. I really felt the volume of the music, the passion that they put into it, and the way that the way they were delivering it to me. That was addictive to me. And hearing music cranked up loud like that for the first time, I had never been that close to music in that form. I was instantly hooked. Right? Couldn't change that for anything. That one true love hobby, that one true love thing that you'll never let go, I had actually found it. That moment, I knew that the connection for me was real. On top of that, they left me with something when I left, and that was my ears ringing. I'd never had that before. So I left, got back on the bus, went got me a brewski and something to eat while my ears are ringing. I had the best music high that I ever had in my life. And thanks to those guys. So I just wanted to share that because I think that's a really interesting story. If you guys have some stories, leave a short version of that in the comments below, and definitely subscribe if you like this, because that's what it's all about. It's like an improv. Life is like an improv, especially as a musician. You just kind of go with the flow and figure out as you go. But please subscribe, because I'm begging you, because I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and who knows what from there. But I hope you enjoyed this. You're rocking with me. I'll check you next time.